Hey folks, and welcome to another edition of the Lumberjack Logic. I'm your host, Neil Johnson. I have a good news, bad news, good news story for you here. This is a wild ride. Make sure you watch the whole thing. I've got a special video from the president of El Salvador, Bukele, here at the end. But what happened was President Trump invoked the Alien Enemies Act regarding the invasion of the United States by Tren de Aragua. Now, as you know, Tren de Aragua was taking over apartment complexes in Aurora, Colorado, that then Colorado tried to deny, taking over apartment complexes in Chicago, taking over apartment complexes in New York. We had them even in Texas doing things like this. This is a terrible gang, folks. Okay, that's why they've been registered now as a terrorist organization. They are raping our people. They are robbing our people. They are importing drugs into our country. And why, for the love of God, would anybody want to keep these people in the United States? Yet, there are people on the left who are doing just that. So U.S. District Judge James Boasberg, an Obama appointee, just halted the deportations after Trump invoked this act. He also reportedly ordered planes that were already in the air deporting illegals to turn back to the United States. So I'm going to go to a report from Real Clear Politics here. So the Trump administration has transferred hundreds of immigrants to El Salvador, even as a federal judge issued an order temporarily barring the deportations under the wartime declaration. Flights were in the air at the time of the ruling. U.S. District Judge James Boasberg issued an order Saturday blocking the deportations, but lawyers told him that there were already planes with immigrants in the air, one headed for El Salvador, the other for Honduras. Boasberg verbally ordered the planes to be turned around, but they were not included in his written order. So this is where it gets really good, because then Bukele, the president of El Salvador, tweeted out, "Oopsies, too late." And I got that special video by him, but he has agreed to house about 300 immigrants for a year at the cost of $6 million in his country's prisons. Okay, and that is a savings for us. Secretary of State Marco Rubio negotiated the earlier deal to house immigrants, posted on X that we sent over 250 alien members of Tren de Aragua, which El Salvador has agreed to hold in their very good jails at a fair price that will also save our taxpayer dollars. And folks, wait till you see how this prison system works down there. That's a special video coming up. Steve Vladeck, a professor at Georgetown University Law Center, said that Boasberg's verbal directive to turn around the planes was not technically a part of his final order, but the Trump administration clearly violated the spirit of it. Okay, I am telling you that this judge is 100% wholly not only violating the spirit of the Constitution, but the letter of the Constitution. Because when you go to Article 2 of the Constitution, the executive power is vested in a president, not a district judge. And so he can order the DHS, Border Patrol, whatever, to get these people out of our country. And he's not violating the rights of American citizens. Yet we have people on the left, people like Mark Elias, that lawyer who always argues for election fraud, also argues for this kind of stuff. People like AOC in the Congress who will argue for this and say that we shouldn't be deporting these people. Okay, this is where an 80-20 rule where the Democrats are completely losing it. Because most people want murderers, rapists, and druggies kicked out of the country and sent back to where they belong. It's just nuts to think about. But Vladeck said this just incentivizes future courts to be hyper-specific in their orders and not give the government any wiggle room. The immigrants were deported after Trump's declaration of the act. It's only been used 3 times in U.S. history. The law, invoked during World Wars I and II and 1812, the War of 1812, requires a president to declare the United States is at war. I don't know what the heck it is if we're not at war with the way our border has been treated under the Biden regime and bringing all these people in, giving him extraordinary powers to detain or remove foreigners who otherwise would have protections under immigration or criminal laws. It was last used to justify the detention of Japanese American civilians during World War II, which was a dark use of it. Okay, the ACLU, which filed a lawsuit that led to Boasberg's temporary restraining order on deportations, said it was asking the government whether the removals to El Salvador were in defiance of the court. Okay, This morning, we asked the government to assure the court that its order was not violated. We are waiting to hear, as well as trying to do our own investigation, ACLU's lead lawyer, Lee Gellert, said in a statement on Sunday. A Justice Department spokesman on Sunday referred back to an earlier statement from Bondi blasting Boasberg's ruling and didn't immediately answer questions about whether the administration ignored the court's order. Again, these planes were already in the air. They were already deported, folks. They didn't have to turn those planes around. They keep deporting these people anyways. It's ridiculous that you can't deport criminals. But here you're going to see, this is a picture of all these people in the prison. I mean, their heads are all shaven, and this is where we get to this special video. Now, before you watch that, please go check out my sponsor, MyPillow, MyPillow.com. Use promo code Lumberjack for big savings over there, or call the 800 number at 1-800-568-2865. It's not just pillows, folks. It's sheets, it's kitchen mitts, it's everything. Mike's got a ton of great products. He's fought the good fight. Support him instead of supporting wokesters. Here's the special video put out by Boucle.
César Eliseo Sortomaya.